Hey dear, Zumzi here, and I have been having a major folk horror fix. So I have two folk horror reviews, like in a folk horror extravaganza Boogaloo. But before I dive in, I think just so that we're all on the same page, in case people are wondering, what is folk horror? I just randomly clicked on this video. Don't worry, I got you. I will give a brief folk horror primer. So essentially, folk horror is a subgenre of horror that involves folk horror, and it often has like rituals and superstition, and it often takes place in a rural setting, so like a isolated island or the woods or a farm or a rural small village. So what we think of like as the kind of most popular folk horror films or stories you might be familiar with, that would be probably the Blair Witch Project, which I love. Probably The Wicker Man. Yes, that one B movie with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast!
But FYI, the original Wicker Man is way better. And then most recently, Midsummer. So there you go, folk horror. So now that you have a little bit of background info, let's get into the books. And two of them, well, both of them that I'm covering today, were released this year and they were highly anticipated. So I am so excited to finally talk about them with you guys today. Okay, first on our folk horror double feature non-spoiler review Boogaloo is The Lost Village. And I was so excited about this book because it was compared to The Blair Witch Project, which I mentioned earlier, and it follows a documentary filmmaker named Alice who's grown up on tales from her grandmother about the infamous Lost Village, which is a old mining town whose 900 villagers mysteriously disappeared without a trace, and among them were her grandmother's family. So she wants to investigate. So she rounds up like a crew of friends and she decides to bring them on to a documentary film project to try and get to the bottom of the village's dark history and find out what happened to everybody. But of course, the location is set up for a horror movie disaster, so it has weird magnetic fields, so they can't get any cell signals. They start having like their battery packs like inexplicably like drain out. They're hearing weird noises, so paranoia just starts to break out among all the crew members. And I will say, this book is so wonderfully creepy and atmospheric, and I personally love, like, I think they're called like urban exploration videos, but videos of people like exploring abandoned, decrepit, creepy, old, like haunted looking buildings in real life. So that's the feeling I get from reading this book, and the atmosphere is just so delicious and there's mystery. I will say the one thing that kind of threw me off that I expected was, I thought, maybe I should show this book again. I thought this is going to be kind of like found footage or like a diary or like a blog of the production of them creating the documentary. So it starts off with like a letter and the Kickstarter for the project. However, it alternates between the first person narrator, just like a regular novel, and the third person. And I think there is almost a missed opportunity. I wish that it kind of pushed the meta-ness of the book and made it kind of like a found diary. I would have liked that stylistically for this book. Yeah, I was still invested in the story itself. Like, I found it really compelling that the main character, she had very personal stakes because it was her own family's history she was trying to uncover, and I was like immersed in all the creepy ambiance going on. I just wish that their boundaries that were pushed more with the actual presentation of the story. And also, this is a plus and minus. I really love there's this creepy, charismatic preacher character who's in the past that we see glimpses of from the village, and I want more of him. I did notice that their movie and like TV rights sold already for the story. So if there is a TV production or something, I would like to see more of the creepy preacher, because I am all about bad preachers. Anyways, I still enjoyed the book. It was disturbing. I will have to give that warning. Like, I was literally nauseous in parts. It is by a Scandinavian author, and I noticed, like, with the girl with the dragon tattoo and Let the Right One In, they do not hold back on gory details. So fair warning, if you have a light stomach, you might want to skip this one. All right, moving on to folk horror book number 2, and that is The Burning Girls. And I am so excited to talk about it today because it is probably one of my most anticipated horror reads of the year. And The Burning Girls follows a disgraced vicar who was involved in a church scandal. So she was sent to this old, small town that has a long history that, like, reaches back to the reign of Bloody Mary. And in this town, girls were sacrificed as martyrs, and the town is superstitious and believes that the souls of these girls still haunt the place, so they create like these little kind of wicker straw dolls to kind of ward off their spirits. So this town has a whole long dark past, and the vicar herself has a bit of a dark past herself, and it all kind of unfolds as we read this story. And I will say things start to get really creepy in this town. So when the vicar arrives, she receives a cryptic message, and she starts seeing the burning girl dolls like placed everywhere, like around her workplace and her home, and they just show up in random places. And she maybe starts seeing ghostly visages. So those scenes are really intense and creepy. And I will say that this author, it's CJ Tudor, she is really good at opening and closing a chapter. She knows how to keep the audience on the edge of their seats, and this was a serious page turner. Like, I just want to read for you one of my favorite random openings that I put a little star on it because I liked it. So, random, out of context, kind of non-spoilery opening chapter blurb. We all have our hiding places, not just physical ones. Places deep inside where we put away the things we don't want others to see, the less palatable parts. Our St. Peter's boxes, I call it. The one we pray he won't find when we're trying to sneak in through the pearly gates. So, I really liked that part. And I enjoyed this book. I will say, there's a plot twist. I'm still not sure how to feel about the plot twist. It all comes together, but it kind of threw me for a loop. I will say, between the two, the first book, The Lost Village, is a little bit more of a slow burn. Like, it's not until like the last maybe like 30 pages it gets really intense. I will say this is a little bit more energetic. There's more humor. There's like a wry British humor, and the other one is just bleak and grim Swedish woods. So it all depends on your personal preference. I gave them both 4 stars. Depends what you're in the mood for, but yeah, these are both 2 solid folk horror books. If you have read either of these, let me know your thoughts on them, and let me know what your favorite folk horror movies or books are. I might do like, I do kind of consider myself a little bit of a horror queen. If you want me to do a video where I do a breakdown of my favorite and least favorite subgenres of horror, I think I might be down to doing that in the future, but let me know if you want me to do that down below. As always, thank you for watching, take care everyone, and I'll catch you on the flip side.